I'm Catherine. I have a husband, John, who's been on a solo assignment for work, and a daughter, Emily, who's in the fourth grade. 2 years into John's solo assignment, I received a puzzling message from him last week.
I'm heading home now.
Home? Wait, it's already 7 p.m. Are you coming home now? By the way, have you finished your work over there? I was totally taken aback since I hadn't heard a peep about him coming back from his solo assignment, and so, a bit shaken, I replied to his message. Then John immediately sent a corrected message.
Sorry, my mistake, but I might be able to come home next month.
I thought it was strange to mess up a message like I'm heading home now. I couldn't help but have this awful thought that John might be secretly living with someone else. He didn't enter the company dorms but seems to have rented a place for himself. It sounded like the company was helping out a bit with the rent, so he should be living alone. But I couldn't shake the thought that the message was clearly meant for someone else. However, I couldn't just go check on him because I have Emily, and I couldn't leave her behind to go see John by myself. And considering the possibility of a confrontation, I couldn't take Emily with me either. I had a hunch that even if I called John to confirm, he'd just lie to me. It was really a troubling situation. Looking back, John hasn't been in touch much over the past year. He used to come home once every 2 months for Emily, but now it's been nearly half a year. He might really be hiding something. He said he'd be back next month, but I'm not sure if that's true. Anyway, if John is living with someone, I need to find out what his intentions are. If he were sharing a house with another guy, there'd be no need to keep it a secret from me. So, if he's living with someone, it's definitely a woman, I think. The fact that John's contact has decreased and he hasn't been coming home makes it all the more frightening if it's because he's living with a woman. It's hard to trust someone when you're apart. And then, a month later, John suddenly returned from his solo assignment. Apparently, he had wrapped up his work over there. That would have been fine, but John didn't come back alone. That day, as Emily and I were preparing dinner, the doorbell rang. When I checked the camera, there was John standing there. Surprised, I immediately went to the front door, and when I opened the door, there was a woman standing behind John. "Welcome back, and who might this lady be?" When I asked that, John introduced her to me.
Catherine, it's been a while. This is my new wife, Anna, and this is our child. From today on, we'll be living in this house, so please treat us well.
I couldn't comprehend what was happening. I didn't understand what John was saying. John and Anna acted as if nothing was amiss. I was the only one left out of the loop. What? That was all I could say. Seeing me like that, they laughed.
Just as I expected, you look shocked. Haha. Well, I guess that's understandable. Anyway, let's continue this conversation inside.
With that, John walked into the house. Anna followed him in as if she owned the place. In a panic, I followed the two of them. Emily was surprised to see John back, but she looked puzzled at Anna and the baby she was holding. I thought we should talk as adults, so I told Emily to stay in her room. Then it was just John, Anna, and me, and we resumed our conversation in the living room.
As I said at the front door, I'm marrying her. So today, I need you to sign the divorce papers.
John said that and handed me the divorce papers without waiting for my response. I was stunned. "Do you realize what you're doing? Are you saying you've been cheating while on your solo assignment?" When I asked that, John laughed again and said,
Well, I guess that's one way to put it. Haha. But what can you do, right? It's come to this. Plus, as you can see, we've had a child. Look, isn't she cute? Haha.
and it didn't seem the least bit remorseful, just calm and collected.
So, for me and the child's sake, please divorce him.
That's what she said. Honestly, I was at a loss for words. It didn't seem like a joke, but even if it was, this was going too far. I was about to lose it, but with Emily in the house, I managed to hold back, and so, I continued to ask calmly, "Did you forget we also have a daughter? You met her just now, didn't you?"
Of course, I remember her. Haha. But right now, She's the most important to me. I do think Emily is cute, but I've decided to marry Anna.
John was making the most appalling statements as if he was saying something perfectly reasonable. Hearing this, Anna too seemed just as confident in her stance.
Our child is still a baby, so having a father around is absolutely essential. Your daughter is already in elementary school, right? She's at an age where she can help out, and having a mother is enough, isn't it? She can even stay home alone by now.
That's how Anna was making assumptions. I felt a rage like I had never felt before. The two of them just kept pushing their point of view. It felt like they had decided what to do from the start. Naturally, I wasn't convinced and didn't understand what they were saying at all. But I thought it was pointless to keep talking with the three of us there. For now, I'd like to talk to John alone. So Anna, could you please wait in the hallway?
Then, I'll be waiting in the hallway. Take your time, the two of you.
With that, she immediately went out to the hallway. Left alone, I turned to face my husband and asked him seriously, "Are you serious? You really intend to marry her? By bringing her home all of a sudden like this, do you intend to kick me and Emily out of this house?"
Of course, that's why I came back. I've made my preparations, you know. Well, I do feel bad for you and Emily. But forget about me, haha. You can start a new life even now. I want to be happy with her, haha.
John kept making such selfish remarks. I was dumbfounded by John, but I couldn't think about divorce right away. I have Emily, and the thought of being kicked out of our house was no joke. Do you really think you can just smoothly get a divorce? I won't sign the divorce papers, you know. When I told him that, John looked angry and said,
Huh? After I've explained everything so clearly, why won't you divorce me? Don't you want me to be happy? I'm saying I want a divorce, so just do it.
"Still, I firmly oppose the divorce. It's not right for you and her to just happily get a divorce like this. What do you think about me and Emily's happiness?"
Well, I do want you to be happy, but it's impossible for me to make that happen anymore. So, find your own happiness. Anyway, let's get a divorce.
John was adamant about getting a divorce. I thought the conversation was going to drag on. While we were at it, Anna came back into the living room.
Is the talk over yet?
She asked with an attitude as if it was someone else's problem.
That's the thing, it's not over yet. Catherine is insisting on not getting a divorce. Really? How much does she love me? Haha, but I've already decided to marry you.
John said that as he pulled Anna close and smiled happily. That smile was unbearable to me. I felt like screaming at any moment.
Anyway, divorce me. That's the best choice for us. Haha.
As John said that with a laugh, Emily, who was supposed to be in her room, came in, and she made a shocking statement.
That woman, her main interest isn't you, Dad. So, there's no way you're getting a divorce.
Yo, what are you saying all of a sudden? Kids should just shut up. Come on, go back to your room.
John seemed as if he couldn't comprehend Emily's statement and was trying to send her back to her room. "What do you mean? Explain yourself." When I said that, my daughter began to speak.
I overheard this woman talking in the hallway earlier. She was saying everything is going perfectly. The only one I really like is you, she said. She called Dad an easy mark. So that means she must have someone else in mind, right?
John seemed so shocked by this statement that his lips were trembling.
What? Hey, what's this all about?
As he confronted Anna, she was visibly shaken to have been overheard by Emily. "It's all nonsense. There's no way I have someone else besides you," she was shouting back in denial. John seemed suspicious of her behavior.
Then show me your phone right now.
He demanded to see her phone. She was reluctant. "Why? Why do I have to do that? You're not going to believe what a child says, are you?"
Just show it to me. If you're not lying, there's no problem, right?
When John insisted, she could no longer refuse and slowly handed over her phone. Upon checking the contents, John seemed so shocked that he staggered.
What the? You really have been making calls. Who is this guy? That's clearly a man's name, isn't it?
"He's just a friend. Anyway, I'm not cheating." Anna was desperately trying to make excuses. But then Emily spoke up again.
She said that once you both get divorced, she'd take the money and go straight to him.
Hearing this, John seemed to have reached his limit. He collapsed right there. Well, he didn't faint, but he wanted to show just how shocked he was.
Hey, you're kidding, right? You were after my money. But then, this child. Could it be that I'm not the father?
He pressed her for answers. She seemed to have run out of excuses. Yes, that's right. I don't like you or anything. The father of this child is another man, and I was planning to marry you, take your money, and then quickly divorce you. It's all ruined because of this brat. She was defiant. I was speechless at what I saw. I was also astounded that John had been completely oblivious to being deceived. Emily had the triumphant look of a detective who had cornered the culprit. Too much romance or suspense drama, I guess. Kids these days are really precocious. So, in the end, John kicked Anna out.
I've never met a she-devil like you before. Take the child and get out of this house right now.
And when it was just our family, he said this to me.
Catherine, I was out of my mind. To think I was about to marry such a terrifying woman. Thank you for saying you wouldn't divorce me. I'll do right by you from now on.
He was saying all these convenient things. So I told him straight. I hate to burst your bubble while you're having a moment, but it's not like I refuse to divorce you because I love you. I can't forgive you for what you've done. And that's exactly why I thought I wouldn't make it easy for you by divorcing you. So, I won't divorce you now. But once our daughter is grown up, I expect a divorce.
What? You're kidding. You mean we're just going to be husband and wife on a timer?
That's right. Do you think I could still have feelings for you after this? I will never forgive you for what you've done. I can't trust you anymore. You better work hard until Emily is grown up. Don't get it twisted and think you're still loved like before.
So that's how it is.
John was once again shocked by my words. But I think it's all his own doing. I could divorce him and get child support and alimony. But who knows when he might skip out, and alimony would be a pittance. So I figured it's best to keep the contract going and divorce when it's no longer necessary. I think John has an obligation to accept that. We live in a house with enough rooms to avoid seeing each other if we want to. I don't know how Emily feels about her father, but if she's uncomfortable, I'll make John leave. Instead of resisting, John seems to be holding on to the hope that he can win back my affection.
I'll stake my life on regaining your trust from now on. The solo assignment is over, and I'll be around every day. So just tell me if there's anything you want.
He was pledging his loyalty like a dog. Of course, I don't want that, and I'd prefer he just keeps his distance.